Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm doing the September 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Pisces. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it may not apply to your circumstances. You can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs, and see which title resonates for you most on these videos. And bear in mind the energies can be vice versa and interchangeable. Okay, so with regards to the spread, I'll be using a Celtic cross style spread as usual. Firstly pulling from the Rider Waite tarot deck and then getting clarification using the intuitive. Ooh, let's try big cards here. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and I hope you find this insightful and useful for you. If you're returning as a subscriber, thank you for your continued support as I continue to expand the channel. There will also be an extended version available for purchase via my website. You can find the link in the description box below if you feel the messages contained resonates for you. Okay, so let's go into it. See what's coming up for you, Pisces. I might have to move them over actually. Oh my gosh, it's getting stuck. So I want to make sure I'm not gonna just be on the edge of the table. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Just wanted to check that you'd be able to see them. You can, so that's wonderful. All right, so, oh, I'm missing one card. There we go. So let's get into it. The first card you got, Pisces, is the Ace of Cups here, okay? So Ace of Cups in reverse, water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, your energy. You are sad about something. I feel like there is some kind of processing that's taking place, something you've had to release or that you will be releasing in September, and it's weighing excuse me, my voice is going. Bear with me, I'm just going to get a cough sweet. I'm sorry if you hear me chewing, but you know, I've been having throat chakra problems recently. I know a lot of tarot readers have been running into this. So it's a lot of choked up feelings, right, that the collective is experiencing right now, and that's being processed. But yeah, the point is here is that there is a lot of sadness. You know, you're processing a lot of emotions at this time. So while it might be a bit heavy for you, understand that it's part of the healing process, okay? So if you're going through a difficult separation, breakup, a change of circumstances that's leaving you quite sad, it's natural to be a little bit overwhelmed by your emotions. It's natural to want to release this, right? And just get it out of your system. It's healthier than bottling it up. So don't be, you know, don't feel guilty or feel embarrassed if you do cry or if you are having a bit of a rough time, because that's normal, okay? It's better to get it out of your system and keep it within. Next card you have crossing this situation is the Devil. So Capricorn energy. You could be dealing with a Capricorn or have it prominently in your chart. I feel like, you know, there was a lot of toxicity in the situation. Perhaps there was a bit of a codependent energy going on. Maybe you felt that you were chained to the situation based on factors outside of your control. However, you're trying to find a way to release certain aspects of this situation still. So perhaps because you feel trapped in the situation, it's making you feel really unhappy. But I feel like for the most part, there's a release happening. You know, it's not really a case of feeling stuck in a situation. especially because we don't have the Eight of Swords here at the moment, at least. I feel like it's more of a case of having to deal with the deeper, darker emotions that come with, you know, a betrayal, or with the release of something that meant a great deal to you, or having to stand on your own 2 feet when realizing that you were in a codependent relationship, or some kind of there was some kind of toxicity in the relationship that wasn't healthy. So the challenge here is to overcome, right, whatever came up in the situation that was toxic. And if there's certain things that you know you have some kind of temperament towards, right? If there's certain traits or behaviors that you exhibit that you know isn't particularly healthy, this is an opportunity for you to heal yourself also, right? And to take a look at those traits and, you know, rather than being harsh or judgmental on yourself, just understanding where this stems from, you know, why you're feeling the way that you do, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting from that. Let me just move this over here. I don't know why I'm just touching these cards, but I just feel like I want to make sure you can see it properly. Okay, so the next card you have in regards to your recent past is the Hermit in reverse. So earth energy, this is, oh my God, I will learn to speak, I promise. So this is Virgo, right? And I feel like with it being in reverse, it's a case of, yeah, there was some truths that you were avoiding. You didn't really want to take the time to do the introspective work, because that meant coming face to face with some, you know, painful truths, or coming to certain realizations that in order to turn the situation around, something needed to be released, or, you know, something needed to be addressed head on. You had to face the shadow, especially with that devil energy there. It's still showing you that there's a lot of shadow work that needs to take place at this time. But it's ultimately going to serve you, you know, it's going to help you, you know, heal from whatever trauma is present, or whatever situation is really heavy and weighing heavily on your mind and heart space. You know, healing is essential at this time, so that's why it's important to address this head on. In regards to your near future, you have the moon, okay? So this is your energy, Pisces. So this is telling me that there's still things that you need to dig deep on, right? There's still things that are even hidden to yourself that you need to gain clarity on, that you need to see for what they truly are, that needs to be addressed. There may even be some secrets that are purposely being kept from you, because it would unleash even more painful truths, or, you know, there's certain things you're not wanting to completely face at this time, because you've already been through so much and you're processing a lot. Take your time, right? It's not a rush. You know, healing is a very messy process in a lot of ways, right? You're not expected to have all the answers straight away. You're not expected to be healed overnight. It's a process, right? But the important thing is that you don't turn a blind eye to the things that cause you pain, and you don't turn a blind eye to things, you know, that may seem a little bit difficult to face, because you want to, you know, avoid pain in some way, or just make life a little bit easier, because it doesn't actually make things easier at all. All it does is build up in the background, and then before you know it, some situation is triggered that forces you to look at it, and perhaps the thing wouldn't have been as bad as it has become, because it's been buried, right? So it's always better to try and get some kind of insight and understanding as to what's occurring, if possible, if and where possible. The next card you have in regards to your feelings is the Ten of Swords. I'm not surprised. There's so much pain here. You've been through it, Pisces. For those of you I'm picking up on in this particular reading, you've been through it. And I feel like in September, this is you coming to the end of a painful cycle, right? And you're just ready to release. You're ready to let go, because you're like, as much as I'm finding it difficult to release entirely and face my shadow aspect, and face the fact that whoever I was dealing with, their shadow aspect was in full play as well. I know that this is the best thing I can do for myself at this time. I have to let this go. I have to give myself the opportunity to heal, because like there's no more I can go through in this situation. I've been through it all, right? That's pretty much what you're feeling. So yeah, it's a heavy energy, but at least by addressing it head on, you can free yourself from it, truly free yourself from it, okay? So with regards to your advice, you have the Ace of Wands, okay? So fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is saying you have a shot at a new beginning, right? This is clearly not the life that you want to create for yourself. This is not an environment that you wish to live in. This is not the kind of circumstance you want to face. This is not the kind of connection you want to have in your life. The reason this is coming to an end in the way it is so that you have an opportunity. You're being given a blessing in disguise, an opportunity by the universe to turn your life around, to create a new beginning for yourself, right? To help you really see what's in alignment with what you want, what you need, what you're passionate about. So this is it. This is your shot at, taking life by the horns and really going after, what makes you happy and what brings passion back into your life. Next card you have is the Queen of Swords. Energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You could be dealing with an air sign, right? Or possibly a fellow Pisces or a Capricorn. Virgo strongly here as well. So either way, I feel like because this is in your external influences as well. This is your external, everything outside of you. So this can be people, this can be places, situations, environments, right? So I feel like there is someone in your environment, particularly someone who I feel like was in this connection with you. Whatever connection, it doesn't have to be romantic, but whatever connection this was, I feel like they have gone very cold towards you. Perhaps they feel like they're the ones that should be untrusting of you, or they're the ones that were wronged, or perhaps they would just become less caring. Perhaps they've just gone cold in their heart space because they weren't happy either, and that they're trying to pursue something that does make them happy. I feel like, this person perhaps has gone through a lot as well in different ways in their life, and that they tend to turn colder more easily than you because they're just tired. They just want to cut the bullshit, right? Or perhaps they're very guarded at their heart space, and because things were not working out between you on whatever level, they've become distant, they've withdrawn, right? Or perhaps this person as well is very rational minded. Maybe they're not very emotional at all, and that's where the two of you clash, because obviously you're very much in your emotions, right? Whereas this person may be more rational and logical and by the book, maybe more traditional as well, and you just didn't have that right meeting of minds, because you trying to express yourself from the heart with this, whereas this person might have expressed themselves from the mind. So that could have been another factor as well. So in regards to your hopes, you have the Six of Swords in reverse. Some more air energy. I think you're hoping that there's some kind of way in which you can turn this situation around. I think even though you're done and you want to just free yourself from the pain, on some level you want to see if it's possible to fix it. I think you're not quite fully committed to releasing the connection entirely. And I don't know, I think that's partially based in fear. I think you're afraid of losing this connection on some level for some reason. I mean, this is in the position of your fear, right? So even though things are really rocky between you, even though things are maybe even got quite volatile, there's still part of you that doesn't want to release it entirely. Because you're maybe getting into that mindset of, oh, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe if I just change, this will be okay. This will work out. Or, oh, maybe if I do more of this, more of that, say this, say that, then I can keep this person here and stop them from going completely cold on me, right? That if I be more of what they want, then I can turn this around. But that's not healthy, that's not the way to approach this. That is, if that is the case. This could be, a case of you just being a bit fearful of where to go next, how to, approach this new chapter, right? So the next card you have in regards to your hopes is, did I say fears or hopes? I'm getting confused now. Because I just got a bombardment of energy then. Okay. Yeah, you're hoping you can turn this around. I think your fear, sorry, because this is kind of tricky. The reason I'm getting confused is because I'm getting your hopes and fears in tandem with both of these cards. So I'm just going to take them both as both, right? Because it's just too confusing otherwise, because I'm getting that really strongly. But I think what you're afraid of as well is that there's no way in which this situation can turn around. You want a new beginning, but you don't want a new beginning alone, right? You want a new beginning with this person. Because I feel like there's something you're reluctant to release. So you're like, I want a new cycle, and you want a new opportunity. You know, I want to turn this around, but I don't want to put myself out there and explore new options, right? I want to turn things around within this specific connection. Okay. So this person obviously meant a great deal to you, because honestly, Pisces, your energy is confusing the hell out of me. You know, I don't usually get that muddled in a reading, but it's so mixed, man. Like, you really care about this person, but at the same time, the situation got very toxic. You know, I don't know what played out between you or who this person is, but, you know, something just did not work. And, you know, there was probably some kind of conflict, or there was a very hard, cold ending. And I feel like this person is just not even communicating, or if they are, it's very like to the point, no emotions involved, right? And then finally, as a potential outcome, you have the 7 of Wands in reverse, some more fire energy. So this is it. It's a case of, depending on what you do, is going to have certain effects, right? Certain consequences. And it's like, I feel like you're still open to the idea of turning this situation around with this person. But, you know, it's also dependent on whether or not this person is willing to put the work in also. And it depends on what transpired between you as to whether or not that would even be a good idea. So there's a lot of things to consider, more than just a case of, well, I want it to work, so therefore it can work, you know? So, yeah, that's what I'm getting. Okay, so let me have a look then as we clarify with the intuitive and see if I can clear this up a bit more, because even though I got a sense of what's happening here, this energy right here, your hopes and fears, very intertwined, very confusing. So I feel like, you know, you're very confused with that as well right now, Pisces, because you want it, but you don't want it, you know? But also, like, you want to like turn this relationship or connection around, whatever connection it is. Like I said, it could be a friendship, it could be a family connection. Whatever it is, you want to turn it around, but at the same time, you know, there's a lot of friction here. And I'm not sure if the person you're dealing with feels the same way, so we'll have to look at this. Okay. So clarifying the Ace of Cups here, you have the 2 of Cups, okay? Water energy, your energy. So yeah, this is definitely, you know, a higher level of commitment here. So I feel like this is once someone that, you know, you were just casually dating. This is someone you were, you know, getting into, you know, a serious connection with. You might have only been in a relationship for a short period of time, but I feel like, you know, you were both kind of in it together, right? You were both determined to make it work, or at least to have this relationship. You may have even been, you know, considering your life with this person, right? But I feel like you wasn't at that point. If this is for you, I feel like you wasn't at that point of marriage, or you weren't getting engaged, but it might have been something that was on your mind, possibly more than your partner's. But I feel like there was a letdown here, either by the way things went within this connection, the way you know, you're expressing yourselves from different angles, and, you know, this person was very rational, and perhaps you were like, you know, very devoted to the idea of progressing this relationship further, and, you know, you were full of love, and, expressing that. Maybe you were being very mushy and this person did not understand the mush, it could have been something like that. Because I do feel like whoever you were dealing with was coming more from the mind than the heart. And that's where you were clashing, right? So with regards to the challenge here, the devil, you have temperance. So Sagittarius energy could also be dealing with a Sagittarius, so have it prominent in your chart. But regardless, it's a case of, you need time to alchemize your feelings and your emotions. It's not an easy process, that takes time. But you absolutely can do it. It's not beyond you. That's the important thing to be aware of, right? Because you're being confronted with your own shadow as well as the shadow of this individual. And it's a case of whatever you were suppressing, burying, or not acknowledging, that's come to the surface now. Excuse me, my voice is going. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. So I feel like you just have to get into this space of knowing that time is a healer, but it also requires work, right? So you need to detach from the situation. If you have been contacting this person, don't for the meantime, right? Give yourself time to process your emotions. You need time to process, right? And to see things more objectively. But you can't do that if you're just in this panicked, fearful mindset and just clinging on dearly to a relationship that's already broken, right? You need time to yourself to process your emotions. And then you can start doing the inner work and alchemizing the more negative emotions into something positive. So you can draw a positive outcome from this, right? Because I feel like there is a deep karmic lesson that's taking place for you and this person, right? You're both learning something significant from this. With regards to your feelings, clarifying the 10 of Swords there, you have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Some more energy. This is it. It's like you're feeling defeated. You're like, I can't go any further with this because like things are just so screwed up. I feel like I've been betrayed so much by this person. This person's hurt me so much with their words, with their actions. Like I said, I feel like they've gone very cold. And, they were just looking at things with a very, very left-brained sense of things, right? Very like cold, hard logic and reasoning all the time. And I feel like that just was like a dagger to your heart because you were coming from this more, heart-centered space. I really get a sense of that, And, so you're like, I don't know how we can progress forward with this because, they're just not seeing what I'm seeing or feeling what I'm feeling, right? Maybe this person doesn't even want to have a new shot at this. So I feel like you're just kind of holding back, right? You're trying to hold back your emotions and from showing the world how you're feeling right now. But, the brave face will only last so long. I think those closest to you are going to start to see, if they aren't already seeing, that you are in great pain, because of how you're feeling towards this person and the situation and how it played out, right? So I think it's better, like I said, to not bottle it in, but to just release it. And I feel like you're going to be doing that this month. It's going to come to a head and you're just going to have this great release, which is good because then you can start accepting, processing, and healing, right? With regards to what's crowning you, I missed this one actually. Okay, so let me go to this. What's crowning you? 7 of Cups. This is important, right? Because this shows you that you have possibilities. When you open yourself up to possibilities, right? No matter how fantastical they may seem, you start to have doors opening to you where you may feel like doors are currently closed. I feel like the problem here is not a lack of opportunity for healing or soul searching or moving towards a new direction. The problem here is your confusion. Like I said, I've got a real sense of that. So yeah, it's no wonder that this is the crowning energy in this reading. Like just pure confusion because you're processing so many emotions. And that's why it's absolutely crucial that you have time to yourself to process exactly how you feel, why you feel the way you feel, where is it stemming from, what was the outcome, looking at things very, very like this. In this case, you have to kind of go into the rational state, which I know is probably not what you want to hear, but it's true. To be able to look at things from an outside lens. Because otherwise, if you're just associating yourself with your current emotional state, then you can't move past it. But if you detach from that and try and look at it objectively like an observer, then you can see how things played out the way they did, why, what exactly you're feeling, and how you can, process that, go through it, and release it, right? And clarifying that Seven of Cups, you've got the Hangman in reverse. So this is it, this is like you were in a situation. Sorry, I don't know what that whistling was. You were in a situation where, you were being forced to look at things, like I said, from a new perspective, right? In order to gain clarity, to gain understanding of things as they truly are. But you didn't do that because you were caught up in the emotion of things. You were just trying to, somehow smooth things over, and just didn't work, right? Because it was like almost like denial. And this person was not helping in the situation at all. So I feel like now you're being forced to do this introspective work to try and see things more clearly. And it's like, yeah, if you're badgering this person, you're not going to be able to do that, right? You might not be doing that. You might not be, texting them 10 times a day or anything like that. But I'm just saying, if you are doing that or you're tempted to do that, don't do that, because all that's going to do is bring more confusion, and you're just going to get more of the energy you don't want from this person, if they even respond at all. But I feel like in this case, you need to detach, and you need to see clearly where things went wrong, without coming from it from an egocentric place, right? Just looking at it very, very objectively, so that you can properly heal and move forward, right? And again, that's not coming from a place of blame or judgment. That's just looking at things for what they are, understanding that you're both human beings. You both have your wounds, right, that need healing. You both have different ways of looking at things and processing things. And yeah, so it's not about blame. It's just about recognizing the situation for what it is and doing something about it. Okay. So clarifying the Ace of Wands here, right? So in the position of your advice, you have the Ace of Cups. So that's interesting how in your present circumstances, you have it in reverse. But the advice here with the Ace of Wands is the Ace of Cups. So this is it. This is the advice to go within. You have an opportunity to release what doesn't work, what isn't aligned to you, what doesn't feel like is actually for you, to be honest with you. It was a part of your lesson, right? You're gaining some insight and some strength from this situation, so that you can see the signs of where something may be going very toxic or something is not aligned, right? So that you can move towards that in which is, okay? That which is in, alignment with what it is you truly want. So in order to do that, you need a new beginning, a fresh start, right? Clean slate. To get to that, you need to heal. You need to process. But that's what you're essentially being told. Like, listen, you have a new opportunity in love for you coming up in the future, but you need to release this first. You need to process this first. Okay? So with regards to external influences, clarifying the Queen of Swords here, you have the Eight of Cups, right? So more water. I feel like this person is literally gone cold, completely cold turkey, to try and make sense of what the hell just happened, right? Because I think this person knows that maybe they have a real problem with opening up themselves, but in a different way. I think with you, it's just a case of, you're extending so much love into the situation, but wasn't getting what you wanted or needed. And this person was having a hard time, even though I feel like, obviously, at least initially, there was some real, care and consideration and compassion. And I feel like there was some level of love, being offered from this person, but I feel like they didn't know how to express it, and they were very guarded of it. So they weren't showing it, and they wasn't expressing it as easily and freely as you were, right? So that obviously stems back to some wounds that they need to heal, right? Because I feel like with them showing up as the Queen of Swords, they went through some shit in their past, as well. So they have to go off and do their own healing at this time as well. And that may be why they're not responding or reaching out, because they need time to themselves as well. Okay. So clarifying, I'm not even going to talk about hopes and fears because these are so intertwined, these energies. So I'm not surprised that these two cards came up. But in regards to the Six of Swords in reverse, you have the King of Cups. So this is you, Pisces, right? But I feel like it's a case of, yeah, you want to give this another go because you're like, you know, I know I was a bit of an emotional mess. I know that, you know, I didn't really face things exactly for what they are. You know, I was burying some stuff. I was, you know, not necessarily approaching this in the best way, but I'm getting to a place where I'm so much more emotionally grounded and emotionally balanced. You know, I'm going to do the work so I can become a little bit more detached from whatever I'm feeling at the time, so it doesn't, whatever emotion comes in doesn't rule me completely, right? So I feel like, you know, you're not wanting to give up on this, but you're not willing to give up on yourself either. You're wanting to do the work so that you are in this energy and you know that, you know, you can have healthier relationships moving forward. So that's very, very positive, right? I really like that, actually. Okay. And then clarifying the World card in reverse, King of Pentacles. So you could be dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or they could also be a fellow water sign, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, right? Possibly, we've got strong Virgo here, so they could very well be a Virgo or a fellow, we've got Capricorn as well, and also Pisces, right? But I feel like, yeah, this person is probably struggling just as much as you are, actually, but you may not see it. Because this person is, again, is coming from two different places. This person is just trying to earth themselves, ground themselves. They're trying to get back in the element where they feel like they're in control of their life, right? That they're not rattled so easily, and that they don't feel like they have to uproot their life. So I think maybe one of the things with your relationship is that this person feels like they would have to give up a lot of their stability, right, and comfort in order to make this work at this point. And I feel like that's something that they're afraid of, because they're all about stability. They're all about doing things rationally, methodically, you know, making sure it makes sense, that, you know, the walls isn't going to collapse around them. So I feel that's what I'm getting from this as well. And I think that's why I was so confused, because I was getting very two different messages for you at the same time, very clearly. But I think I was also picking up on this person's energy, which is really interesting. I don't usually get that with this kind of reading, not in these positions, but that's what I'm feeling, right? And it doesn't matter that they're two kings, by the way. This is talking about the divine masculine aspects of both people. And I feel like that's the other issue, because you have two masculine energies that are now coming to the surface. So trying to, you know, find some kind of middle ground is going to be impossible. You're just going to be butting heads, right? So that's why I feel like you both need to go off and do your introspective work, right? And then perhaps you can revisit this connection later down the line, especially if this is a romantic connection, okay? And then clarifying the Seven of Wands in reverse here as a potential outcome, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So change is on the horizon, my friend. Change is on the horizon. And this is what I'm saying with this here. This is a blessing, right? A blessing in disguise. Despite how much pain you're going through and how much healing you need to do, you have a beautiful new opportunity coming up for you, okay? A whole new beginning. Something that you're very passionate about, that's very aligned and spiritual, but is also giving you the abundance emotionally that you need. So that's perfect, right? And with the Wheel of Fortune being in the upright here, that's telling you, like, listen, change is coming, right? Things are now going to start moving. Now that this energy is being freed up here and you start to do your inner work, things are going to start turning and changing for the better, right? You can't see the blessings that are on the way, but believe me, they're on the way if you're open to receiving it, right? So it's essential that you do not block those blessings that are trying to come in for you, because they're coming, right? So this is really interesting. So we will go into the extended with this now. So what I'll do is we'll have a closer look at this Wheel of Fortune energy here. And I want to take a closer look also at this new beginning that's coming for you in the position of Vice. And then what I want to look at is how this person is feeling and what their wants are with regards to this connection. And then we'll look at how you're feeling in closer detail and what would be the best call for you at this time. All right, so we'll take a closer look at those aspects. So if this resonates for you and you're interested in that, you can get the extended in the link in my description box below. If not, I wish you so much luck in processing this. I know it's not the easiest energy to, navigate, but it's not breaking you, it's making you, I promise you. It's just, we go through these difficult lessons at times because it strengthens us, it strengthens our resolve, and it brings us more into alignment of what we truly want and our true frequency, right? So sending you lots of love, lots of support. Don't forget to hit the notifications bell and subscribe if you haven't already. If you found this useful, give it a thumbs up as well. Drop a comment to let me know how this resonates for you. And yeah, I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.